What's up? My name is KJ Kearney. I am running for South Carolina House of Representatives, District 15. I'm a Democrat. The primary is June 14th, and I want you to vote for your boy. A lot of people know me from my work with Higher Learning. Higher Learning started off as a blog, and we did the intelligent documentation of streetwear culture, specifically Southern streetwear culture. And so I would write about clothing brands from the South. I'd write about Southern streetwear or hip-hop events, and I would do so from what I thought was an intelligent standpoint. We were able to build a pretty good following through that. The highlight of that is being able to speak at the College of Charleston. We also had the opportunity to go to Austin, Texas, and be on a panel at South by Southwest. So we did some pretty cool things. But after a while, I kind of got burnt out with the clothing aspect, and I wanted to do something a little bit more fulfilling. I was coaching basketball at Sanders Clyde Elementary, downtown on the east side, and I fell in love with the kids, with coaching, with just interacting with the kids and helping improve their lives, even in a small way. I really felt that we made some big changes there. So what we did, a lot of my kids didn't have the proper shoes to wear. So I stopped worrying about clothing and I started worried about sneakers, and specifically how I can get kids into sneakers. So we started with my kids. We gave away obviously 12 pairs of basketball sneakers to my kids, my players. But then we kept going. We got donations from other people. We raised money, and eventually in a year we gave away $12,000 worth of sneakers to kids. We at Burke High School, my school that I work at, which is Daniel Jenkins Creative Learning Center, and of course Sanders Clyde Creative Arts. That was awesome, but it also led me to really want to service people. So we turned Higher Learning into a nonprofit organization. Well, what we're going to do is use hip hop to teach life skills to at-risk students. So basically, things like the power of positivity, how to manage your money, how to design a life that you want. There are examples of all that stuff in hip hop. We're going to take those lyrics from hip hop and apply it to life skills and teach it to kids in the curriculum that we're currently creating. I talk about service in the community, and Kim is very eloquently put that there are various ways to service your community. I'm choosing to run for office for a couple reasons. I think one of the most important reasons is because in the state of South Carolina, everything goes through the state legislation. Everything. Whether you want to improve roads, education, reform, criminal activity or criminal reform, gun reform, anything you want to do in the state of South Carolina, it pretty much runs through the State House. So I figured I've already had a history of service in the community. Why not just take it to the next step? It seemed like a logical and progressive step for me to go ahead and do that. I was writing as a columnist for the Charleston City paper, where I would write about these issues that are going on in the state, whether it be social disparity, economic disparity, racial disparity, and so I just figured, why not just go ahead and make it happen? Just take it to the next level and really service my people, not just write about it, but get myself in a position where I can make some real change. And that's part of the reason why I'm running for office. My platform is based on 3 tenets: education, infrastructure, and cultural inclusion. When we talk about education, I work in education, but I'm really interested in seeing if the state can create ways where we approach education from a holistic standpoint, where we don't just worry about test scores or grades, and we worry about the whole human being, their mental and emotional well-being, as well as their academic well-being. And that's not just for the students, but this is for staff members as well. Teachers, cafeteria workers, principals, we all go through things. We all need help at certain points. Why not have the state invest resources into those kind of programs? That's something I'd like to look into. The second thing is infrastructure. It's not a very sexy thing, but roads are important. You can't get to the beautiful city of Charleston or Goose Creek or Hanahan or Latson without a road. And roads need to be fixed in South Carolina, and I want to work with legislation to try to find some creative ways to make this thing happen where as many people can be pleased as possible. Last is cultural inclusion. My district, District 15, is a very diverse district. We're talking 40% non-white, 33% African American, Hispanic population, a big Hispanic population, a lot of Filipinos in my district as well. And I feel like if we can galvanize all those people together, get them civically engaged, we can create systems that work for everybody and we can get more ideas to improve things. So it's not just what I think, it'll be what the constituents think. And you can't find out what the constituents think if you've never tried to engage them. And those are the 3 areas that I want to focus on with my platform. What have I learned as I run for office? What I've learned is that the political process is not this big, scary monster. It's not a giant that comes down from the clouds, to paraphrase Mos Def, to visit the townspeople. The government is us. We make the government whatever we want it to be. And I'm learning that every day as I run. What I'm also learning, this is some behind the scenes information, if you will. What I'm also learning is it costs money to run for office. So I've always downplayed that money part, but money is very important. And not because I get to pocket the money. I don't get to buy a new car with this money. I don't get to buy a new apartment, a new furniture with this money. I use this money to interact with my constituents so that I can be where they are. I can advertise myself, let them know that I'm here, that I'm ready to serve them, that I'm ready to service their needs. Those are really the biggest things that I've learned. Because with higher learning, we were throwing parties, we were doing sneakers. We did a lot of things that are good for the community, but I didn't really know what it meant to serve your community until I started running for office. And there's a lot of facets. But those are the most important things that I've learned. I feel that everyone needs a point of inspiration. And I've had a lot of people in my life that I can look back on and say, that person inspired me to do X, Y, and Z. All right? My mentor in high school, Atlee Prince, my lawyer, my current lawyer, I met him when I was in high school, Dwayne Green. He inspired me to do more. Breonna Maxwell, Jessica Bright. I could go on and on with J.A. Moore. There's a lot of people that I can name that have done big things or they're servicing their community. And I don't want to keep calling names because I'm going to forget somebody and they're going to be offended with me. My hope as I run and eventually win to become South Carolina House of Representatives District 15 top guy, if you will, is that my running sparks other people a desire to be committed to servicing their community. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to look at me and say, okay, I want to be a representative or a senator or a governor or a mayor, but they'd want to do something. I'm young, I'm from the area, and so my ideal is, I'm a paraphrase Tupac. Tupac basically said, I might not be the dude who changes the world, but I might spark the mind of the person who changes the world. In addition to making real, tangible change for my constituents, I want to make a lasting impact where other people coming up who look like me or from the areas I'm from or went to the high school I went to or the middle school or the college I went to, they see my story and they say, man, if KJ can do it, I can do it too. Hope rings eternal. And some people need to be inspired outside of themselves to do more. And I hope to be a point of reference for someone who wants to make change, but they're not exactly sure how to do it. I hope to be that guy for them. And then maybe when they get up and they start working for their community, they do things that I could never even imagine. They make strides and open doors for other people that I could never open. But that's what really counts, is that we all get involved, whether you run for office or you're the president of your kid's PTA, or you go for that promotion that you normally were too scared to go for, or you take on a leadership role in your church. Whatever the case may be, man, I want to be living example that you don't have to have everything right. And you can make mistakes, and you could have burned some bridges, and you could have, done some things not the right way. But at the end of the day, if you have a pure heart and pure intentions, the world is yours. You're not stuck. You can do whatever it is you put your mind to. And I want to show through running for office and winning that you can be from North Charleston and live on the Height, live in Chicora, live in Forest Hills, move to Ashley Phosphate, go to Stall, Morningside, South Carolina State, and you can make change happen right where you are. You don't have to move. You can do it right here. Vote for KJ.